based on true horror event. In across Mexico, the name of story La Llorona, the woman who weeps in the shadows. In the quiet town of San Miguel, nestled on the edge of a dense forest near the Rio Grande, strange wails echoed across the waters each night. Long, sorrowful sobs that drifted like fog through the narrow streets. Most dismissed it as wind or coyotes, until people began disappearing. Locals spoke of La Llorona, the weeping woman, a ghostly figure said to have drowned her own children centuries ago in a fit of rage, only to take her life afterward. Now her spirit wanders rivers and lakes, weeping endlessly, searching for her lost children. Legend says she mistakes the living for her children, especially those who wander too close to the water after dark. Sofia Alvarez, a 17-year-old from San Miguel, never believed in the legend. She laughed when her abuela told her, "Mija, if you hear her cry far away, she's close. But if she sounds close, run." Sofia, a skeptic, loved nighttime walks by the river, claiming it calmed her anxiety. One foggy evening, she didn't come home. Her parents panicked. A search party combed the riverbanks until sunrise. All they found was one white sandal and a trail of wet footprints leading away from the water, then vanishing mid-path. No signs of struggle, no body, just the faint scent of jasmine, which oddly lingered for hours, La Llorona's signature flower, some said. The town mourned and whispered. Weeks passed. One night, Sofia's younger brother Mateo, only 9, said he heard his sister calling him outside his window. He looked down, and there she was, soaking wet, pale, her eyes hollow, but her voice was calm. "Come with me, Mateo. I found something. Don't tell Mama." When their father rushed in, no one was there. Only muddy footprints on the window ledge, and a soft crying sound that stopped the moment he turned the light on. After that night, more people reported a woman in white wandering near the river, her long black hair dripping wet, her eyes hidden beneath a veil. Some said she floated. Others swore they heard her whispering in the wind, "Mis hijos, ¿dónde están mis hijos? My children, where are my children?" A priest was brought in to bless the river. During the ritual, his crucifix reportedly flew from his hand and landed deep in the water. He refused to return, saying, "That is not a soul in pain. It is something else, something older." Then came the night of the festival. As fireworks lit up the sky, a group of teenagers dared each other to walk down to the river and call out her name. They filmed it for TikTok, laughing, shouting, mocking the legend. One girl named Erika stood on a stone near the edge and yelled, "La Llorona, if you're real, come get me." The video ends abruptly with a splash and screams. Police found her phone floating near the edge, still recording. In the background, There's a faint sobbing sound. No body was ever recovered, just a soaked white veil snagged on a tree branch. That night, the entire town heard it. The unmistakable sound of crying echoing across every street. Long, hollow, inhuman. Today, the river remains unvisited after dark. People report car engines stalling near the banks, children crying without reason, and street lamps flickering when no one's around. Some even claim Sophia's ghost now walks beside La Llorona, both forever bound to the river's curse. But here's the strangest part. Every year, on the anniversary of Sophia's disappearance, her Spotify account starts playing a lullaby from her childhood. No one knows how. Her phone was never found. The last time it happened, the screen in her family's living room flickered and displayed one word: Mama. And in that moment, her mother swore she smelled jasmine. The name of story, The Haunting of Hollowbrook. In the early 1990s, Hollowbrook was a quiet village, hidden deep within a dense, suffocating forest. Life there was simple until the disappearances began. One by one, entire families vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing but eerie silence and cold, unanswered questions. Whispers spread like wildfire among the villagers about a malevolent presence they called the Whisperer. It was said to be a shadowy force that preyed on the desperate and broken, luring them into the woods with promises of reunion. But those who followed were never seen again. Decades later, a group of urban explorers discovered the abandoned village, swallowed whole by twisting vines and thick fog. Driven by morbid curiosity and the chilling legends, they chose to spend a night within Hollowbrook's crumbling walls, hoping to uncover the truth behind the whispers. At first, the village was nothing but decaying homes and overgrown paths. But as darkness fell, the air grew heavy and thick with unease. Soft whispers seemed to snake through the trees, unintelligible yet unmistakably urgent. Shadows darted at the corner of their eyes, slipping away the moment they turned. Then, as the wind whispered louder, one of the explorers froze. Ahead, just beyond the veil of fog, stood a figure, pale and trembling, a woman with eyes as black as empty wells. Her skin was translucent, stretched tight over sharp bones, and her clothes hung in tatters as if dragged through years of rot and decay. She did not move, but her gaze burned through them, hollow and accusing. A low, desperate wail escaped her lips, echoing like a cold breath against their necks. Suddenly, the air grew frigid, their breaths visible in the darkness. Before anyone could react, she vanished, leaving behind a cold stillness and the faint scent of something rotten and ancient. Objects began to shift on their own. Doors creaked open. Footsteps echoed where no one walked. The explorers felt invisible eyes bore into their souls, an oppressive dread that clawed at their sanity. Reality bent, warped by terror and doubt. In their frantic search for answers, they discovered a brittle journal hidden beneath the floorboards of a shattered house. The entries told a story of madness and despair. The writer's final descent into horror as they realized the Whisperer was no ghost, but the embodiment of the village's darkest guilt. A living nightmare feeding on sorrow, regret, and broken hope. A force that trapped souls in a ceaseless torment, binding them to Hollowbrook's cursed earth. Terrified beyond reason, the explorers fled as dawn's pale light fought through the mist. But just as they thought they had escaped, one glanced back, and there, lingering at the forest's edge, was a shifting shadow. It did not move, but it watched, patient, waiting. They left Hollowbrook behind, but the Whispers never truly left them. In the dead of night, when silence falls, they still hear the soft, desperate calls. And sometimes, in the corner of their eye, they see a shadow, always waiting, always hungry, because the Whisperer never forgets. It never lets go. The name of the story, The Crying Boy. Based on chilling true events from the 1950s, they said the painting was cursed, but no one believed until the fires began. They say a painting can capture more than just an image. It can hold emotion, memory, even something darker. In the 1980s, across homes all over the United Kingdom, one painting became strangely popular. It wasn't beautiful or joyful or even comforting. It showed a young boy, no older than 7, with dark eyes and a tear running down his cheek. He looked directly at you, not with fear or anger, but with something worse. Sadness you could feel. This was The Crying Boy, a mass-produced print sold in department stores and gift shops. Thousands of people had it hanging in their homes without any clue what was coming. At first, there was nothing strange about it, until the fires began. House after house went up in flames, some due to electrical faults, others completely unexplained. In every one of these homes, the Crying Boy was found untouched, completely unharmed amidst the ashes. While everything else was burned to the ground, the painting remained. Not a single burn mark, not even a hint of smoke damage. At first it seemed like coincidence, but as more incidents piled up, firefighters began to notice a pattern. Whenever they arrived at a strange fire with no obvious cause, that painting was always there, on the wall, staring. Some firemen started refusing to enter homes that had it. Others claimed the painting made them feel watched, even followed. the rumors spread quickly. People whispered that the boy in the painting had died in a fire himself, and now his spirit lived inside the canvas, doomed to repeat that horror in the homes of others. They said he cried for revenge, or maybe for company. Newspapers picked up the story. One headline read, "Blazing Curse of the Weeping Boy." Panic followed. People who had the painting suddenly feared for their lives. Some took it down. Others tried to destroy it. But that didn't go well. One man said he threw his crying boy print into the fireplace. The fire immediately leapt out of the grate, caught the carpet, and destroyed half his living room. Another woman claimed she dumped hers at the local tip, only to find it back on her doorstep the next morning. A growing number of people reported bad luck, illness, and accidents shortly after removing the painting. Some said it was safer to leave it alone. One theory suggested that the paintings were coated in a strange varnish that resisted fire. Another said it wasn't the paint, but what was inside it that mattered. Some claimed the artist, Giovanni Bragolin, had painted real orphaned children, many of whom died in tragic accidents. And one boy, it said, died in a fire the very day he was painted. His spirit, lost and angry, clung to the image, spreading sorrow wherever it hung. Eventually, enough fear built up that public burnings were arranged. Dozens of people brought their crying boy paintings to a large bonfire, hoping to break the curse once and for all. The flames consumed them easily, and after that, the stories quieted down. But they didn't stop completely. To this day, copies of the crying boy still exist. Some are found in dusty thrift shops or left behind in abandoned homes. A few people even claim to wake up and find the painting in their house, despite never having owned it. Whether that's real or the curse is still spreading, no one really knows. But if you ever come across a painting of a sad boy with a single tear, one that feels colder than the room it hangs in, one whose eyes seem to follow you, don't hang it, don't touch it, and whatever you do, don't try to burn it, because some say he's still crying, still waiting, still looking for a home.